HTML one, okay. Yeah, I had that one in my car. Okay, yeah.
Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the regular meeting of the Texarkana, Texas City Council. Today is Monday, January the 10th, 2022. We'd like to welcome all of you who are joining us in the audience this evening, as well as those who are joining us online. It's hard to believe that we've started a new year. 2021 was certainly a fast year that went by, and we look forward to many great things taking place this year in 2022. At this time, I'll ask our City Secretary, Ms. Jennifer Evans, if she will provide us with a roll call this evening. Ms. Evans?
Ms. Matlock?
Here.
Hart? Here. Ms. Williams?
Here.
Ms. Page?
Here.
We do have a full council this evening, and our invocation and pledge will be led by Councilmember Bill Harp. If everyone will please stand.
Our most gracious Heavenly Father, thank you for providing us the opportunity to meet tonight and conduct the business of our city and help our community. Help us remember your call to love whom you created and give dignity to. Bring justice, peace, and healing to our community, and help us be people of forgiveness and grace as we humbly ask you to provide us the wisdom to make the decisions that improve and bless all parts of our city. Protect and watch over our police officers, city workers, and firemen and first responders as they work each day to improve and protect our community. These things we ask in your name. Amen. Would you please face the American flag and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. You may be seated. Just a few remarks this evening as we begin a new year. We did receive word this afternoon from the Texarkana Chamber of Commerce that the annual chamber banquet that was originally scheduled for Friday, January the 21st, that the chamber banquet has been postponed due to COVID, and look forward to having the banquet sometime during the spring, perhaps sometime during the month of April. But we'll be receiving more information as time gets closer. So once again, the annual Texarkana Chamber banquet that was scheduled for Friday, January the 21st, has been postponed until sometime during the spring. We have two council members who recently celebrated birthdays last week. Ward 2 council member Mary Hart had a birthday on January the 5th, and Ward 4 council member Christy Page had a birthday on January the 7th. So congratulations to you two ladies for... I have one toward the end of the month, and it's one of those that ends in a 0. So I'm not looking forward to that. But in reference to our upcoming council meetings, we have reverted back to our 2 meetings per month schedule. So our meeting for tonight is, of course, on the 10th. Our next meeting in January will be on Monday, January the 24th. And then our council meetings during the month of February will be on Monday, February the 14th, and Monday, February the 28th at 6 p.m. here in the council chambers. At this time, we'll open the meeting up for comments from the public. If there is anyone this evening who would like to address the council, you're welcome to do so. You will have up to 5 minutes to speak on any subject matter. If you are here this evening and you're wanting to speak on behalf of one of our public hearing items, I ask that you please wait until we get to that particular public hearing item that you would like to speak at, and be more than happy to hear your comments at that time. You are asked to complete one of the yellow sheets that's on the wall in the rack. Ms. Evans, did you have any sheets turned in this evening? Okay, so we do not have any sheets completed. Is there anyone who would like to address the council this evening? Not seeing anyone else coming forward, we'll now continue with our meeting. Good evening, Mike. I did just announce that the chamber banquet has been postponed, and so just wanted to let you know that we have communicated that. All right. At this time, we belong to our appointments to boards, commissions, and committees. Are there any appointments to be made this evening to any boards, commissions, or committees? Okay. Hearing none, move along to our items for consideration. We do have one item on the consent agenda. Item 1 is to consider approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of the City Council held on December 13th, 2021 at 6 p.m. And unless we need to pull that for further discussion, I will entertain a motion to approve this one item on the consent agenda. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
We have a motion by Councilmember Hart and a second by Councilmember Williams. Was it Matlock? Okay. Councilmember Hart made the motion. Councilmember Matlock seconded the motion. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? No. All right, the consent agenda has been approved. Moving along to our action items. We do have a couple of action items this evening. Item 2 is resolution number 2021-112, approving a redistricting services contract based on the 2020 U.S. Census. And we have this on our agenda to be voted on this evening. So any questions or any comments from Dr. Orr on this item?
Mayor, we have no additional information to provide.
Okay. Any questions from the council on this item? Okay. If not, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
So moved.
Motion by Councilmember Davis. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Page. This is a resolution, so there is not a caption. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The resolution passes. Moving along to item number 3, resolution number 2021-116, adopting evaluative factors and administrative procedures for low-income housing tax credits resolution request, containing a fact finding that the city has more than twice the state average of units per capita supported by housing tax credits or private activity bonds. Any questions on this item this evening? Any comments, Dr. Orr? No comments? No questions? All right, is there a motion for approval of the resolution? We have a motion by Councilmember Hart. Is there a second? Second by Councilmember Harp. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The resolution passes. Item 4, resolution number 2021-119, authorizing the city manager to amend the contract for exclusive ambulance service with Lifenet Incorporated. We do have this on the agenda for action this evening, and we have our Fire Chief, Eric Slaughter, to provide information about this item to the council. Good evening, Chief.
Good evening, Mayor and members of council. Just a brief update. I did add one sheet to the briefing at the back of the contract. It was inadvertently left off when I briefed you at the last meeting. Everything I briefed you on was correct and accurate. It was just missing the page that had the rates attached to it. So that was the only change in the briefing. Other than that, I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have. And the Executive Director for Lifenet's in the audience tonight if you have any questions for him.
All right. Mr. Baumgartner, thank you for being here this evening. Any questions for Chief Slaughter or Mr. Baumgartner? Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. All right. If there's not any further discussion on this item, I'll entertain a motion for approval of the resolution. So moved. You have a motion by Councilmember Harp. Second.
Second.
Second by Councilmember Davis. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. All right. Resolution passes. Moving along to our first briefings, item 1 is ordinance number 2022-001, amending PD-21-20 for site plan approval and approximate .96 acre tract of land, being 336A, 336C in the George Brindley Headright Survey, A-18, located at 5302 North Kings Highway from single family 1 to Plan Development Office, Shane Satterfield, owner. We have a public hearing scheduled for January the 24th and council vote at that meeting. And Dr. Orr will brief us on this item. Dr. Orr?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This is a request to rezone property located at 5302 North Kings Highway from single family 1 to office, as you mentioned. The proposed use is a realty office in the existing home. I'm sorry. Can you hear okay? Do I need to speak up?
Can you all hear?
Yes.
Okay.
The adjacent zoning is single-family 1 to the west and to the east, single-family 3 to the north, and neighborhood service to the south. The adjacent land use is residential to the west, east, and north, and retail to the south. The Planning and Zoning Commission unanimously recommended for approval with the stipulations that are listed in your packet. Also, I wanted to point out that staff did recommend for approval of this request. It shows denial in your packet, but it was approval after the plan development was placed on the property. I'll be glad to answer any questions that you may have.
Okay. Anyone have a question for Dr. Orr? Okay, thank you very much. Item number 2 is resolution number 2022-002, recognizing Newtown Neighborhood Association as an official neighborhood association. Same schedule, public hearing January 24th, council vote January 24th. We have Michelle Fernandez. Who's? Okay. 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 All right.
Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening to Mayor and Council. My name is Megan Price. I'm with the City of Texarkana Planning and Community Development, and I've got Mr. Steve Matlock from Newtown with me.
Okay. Good evening, both of you.
Thank you. So we are here today to discuss Newtown being recognized as a neighborhood association so that they're able to get grants in the future, 501c3 and stuff like that. So they currently have established a board already, and their bylaws are prepared. I think that's...
Well, right now, we think that Newtown is a valuable part of Texarkana. We see that the city itself, the area itself, is kind of disappearing. So we're asking the city to recognize us as a neighborhood association so that we can start a neighborhood revitalization program there. We're hoping that we can be an integral part of the growth of Texarkana and offer opportunities for housing and urban development in that area.
Very good.
Okay. We can answer any questions if you guys have any.
Okay. Anyone on the council have a question?
Thank you for taking the interest in the city and trying to do something to help.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you all very much. Moving along to item number 3, ordinance number 2022-003 of public convenience and necessity, approving the assignment and transfer of a public utility franchise to Summit Utilities Arkansas Incorporated, assignee of CenterPoint Energy Resources Corporation, for the continued provision of and to maintain and operate a natural gas utility business system in the city. The city charter requires this ordinance to be read at 3 regular meetings of the city council. So we'll have a reading this evening, public hearing on the 24th, and then council vote will be scheduled for February the 14th. And our city attorney, Jeff Lewis, is going to provide some information on this particular ordinance. Mr. Lewis?
Thank you, Mayor, council members. If I can elaborate on what the mayor just said. In fact, you'll be taking a vote tonight just for the purposes of approving the reading of the ordinance. This is consistent with past practice of the council. Anytime a franchise ordinance has come before the council, the last time that the council visited this particular natural gas franchise was in 2005, when the franchise fee was increased from 3% to 4% of gross revenue. Summit Utilities of Arkansas is closed a deal today, receiving, purchasing, having assignments of CenterPoint assets that serve our city, in addition to areas of Arkansas and Oklahoma. Arkansas and Oklahoma have already secured their regulatory approval. The council has not relinquished jurisdiction over natural gas or natural gas rates to the state, so the council has the original jurisdiction and the responsibility and the priority to determine if the franchise should be transferred and on rates as well. Get to that in the next ordinance. Summit's agreeing to the assignment of the franchise, fee as is, no changes. The council must approve it. A public hearing will be set for next meeting, and at that meeting, the city manager and I have separately impressed upon Summit personnel to attend, to be able to answer any questions that the council or the public may have with respect to the franchise assignment. I'm informed from Summit's legal counsel that has been handling at least the part of the transaction up to this point in time, that many of the CenterPoint people that had been employed locally and working for our particular region may very well be the same people that we're continuing to deal with. They may be just switching employers. I don't have any detail of how many personnel that involves. That was just the general statement that was given to me. Summit has already prepared a draft document that I have seen, that Ms. Evans has seen, which would be consistent with the franchise ordinance that requires council approval. That franchise assignment document will likely be sent to us shortly and will be included in a future packet since the deal just closed today. Kind of hesitant for the next part, but I will entertain any questions that you might have regarding this matter. And if I can't answer the questions, I'll dutifully take notes to make sure the Summit people are mindful of your questions and will be ready to answer them at the next meeting.
I don't necessarily have a question, but I do have a request. If from Summit, and thank you for answering my questions earlier about the contract and everything that's in there. There is a spreadsheet in there from 2017 that has a written list of all the rates and fees. Could we see something like that from Summit before we take the final vote?
I will certainly request that. We will be getting into that in the next discussion. That spreadsheet created basically what's sitting in front of me, the 2017 Tariff Sheets. And so the council understands, back in 2017, the council didn't have this stack of stuff. The council had that 2 or 3 page spreadsheet that was attached to the 2017 ordinance. And I realize there's a lot of papers that are in front of you electronically. That's why I provided you some index of sorts to be able to find everything by page number. So I'll try to figure out exactly who generated those spreadsheets, whether it came from Centerpoint. It may very well turn out to be the similar spreadsheet in form. All we've been provided up to this point is the red line version of the rates that was approved by the council in 2017. So at least that's the only information that we have, but I'll certainly ask for it, Mr. Harp.
Yes, sir. And I would just like to see something in writing that's easy to understand, other than somebody having trying to look through 250 pages of a legal document to find the delivery rate for a residential consumer.
Any other questions on this particular matter? So once again, this is a portion of the CenterPoint Energy Company that's being sold off to another entity, not the entire company. But the part that's being sold off is their Arkansas territory, but Texarkana, Texas is considered a part of that territory. And so that's why we're taking up this matter. All right. Any other questions or comments? Okay. Anything else on this particular one, Mr. Lewis?
Thank you. No.
Okay, but we will need to, I need to entertain a motion in a second for the approval of the first reading.
Yes.
Okay, and then after I do that, then Jennifer will read a caption?
Yes.
Okay, all right. So is there a motion for approval of the first reading of this item?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilmember Matlock, and we have a second by Councilmember Harp. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
An ordinance of public convenience and necessity of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, approving the assignment and transfer of a public utility franchise to Summit Utilities Arkansas Incorporated, assignee of CenterPoint Energy Resources Corporation, DBA CenterPoint Energy Arkansas Gas, for the continued provision of and to maintain and operate a natural gas utility business system in the City of Texarkana, Texas, providing for publication, providing for a repealer clause and a severability clause, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ordinance passes. Moving along to item number 4, which is related to the previous item. I'm
Mayor,
sorry.
May I suggest that the
Yes.
first reading of the ordinance has passed, and that's what the minutes will reflect? I'm sorry, you just said the ordinance has passed, and I wanted to correct that.
Excuse me, the reading of the first reading is approved.
Yes.
Yes, I apologize. Not the actual ordinance, but the first reading is approved. All right. Item number 4, ordinance number 2022-004, amending ordinance number 2017-083, substituting Summit Utilities Arkansas Incorporated as the natural gas provider and franchise holder for the city, reauthorizing identical residential and commercial rate schedules previously authorized with exceptions, in ordering the rates to be charged by Summit for natural gas and natural gas service to the city's residential and commercial customers. Once again, public hearing, January 24th, council vote, February the 14th. Mr. Lewis?
Mayor, council members, this particular proposed ordinance, of course, assumes that at February 14 or thereafter, the council will be taking action to approve an assignment of the franchise to Summit. If that occurs, then this particular ordinance then becomes appropriate for action. We're going to keep it to the same briefing and hearing schedule just to make things easier on the calendar, and so we're keeping both of them together at the same time. Because, alluding to what Councilmember Harp mentioned earlier, Summit is proposing basically to reauthorize or to agree to the very same tariff structure that the council approved in 2017. Summit's not proposing any changes to the rates. What has been attached to the council packet is a clean copy of the 100-something page tariff, and then after that is the red line version, the markup, something similar that CenterPoint provided to the council back in 2017. I've got it right here if you'd like to look at it. But this markup, if you go through each page, you'll see that with two exceptions, what's being done is switching out CenterPoint's name with Summit's name. The two exceptions that has prompted some attention from city staff, and also we posed a few questions to the Railroad Commission regarding this. Our tariff structure approved in 2017 incorporated by reference two particular riders that were part of the Arkansas tariff structure. The riders, if you're jotting notes, you can find references to the riders at page 112 of the briefing materials. It was the trial billing determinant adjustment, which throughout the tariff is referenced with the acronym BDA, and the formula rate plan rider throughout the tariff referenced as FRP. And again, if you're taking notes, if you look at pages of the packet, 385 and 377, you will see where Summit has completely redlined everything relating to those two riders. And that's because the Arkansas regulators, when approving the Summit acquisition of CenterPoint assets and Summit's rate structure, eliminated those riders. So for our purposes, they're defunct. There are no longer any corresponding riders in the Arkansas tariff structure to reference back to. That's why those riders have been eliminated. That is apart from the Summit name change. The only red line differences between the 2017 tariff that the council approved and the version that's being proposed here. As I mentioned, Oklahoma and Arkansas regulators have already given approval to this. I'll repeat what I said earlier and elaborate a bit. The city has original jurisdiction with regard to setting natural gas rates. Unincorporated areas that are within the natural gas service area or municipalities that have ceded their respective jurisdictions, those matters are decided by the Railroad Commission. And from preliminary information, we're led to believe that from this point forward, with respect to the rate structure remaining the same, we're anticipating some formal but perfunctory administrative action without the need of a public hearing for the Railroad Commission to basically bless Summit proceeding with the same tariff structure that had been in effect in 2017, with the exceptions that I've noted. So, from this point forward, noting Mr. Harp's question and asking Summit if they can provide a much easier to digest information regarding proposed residential rates, I'm happy to address any question that I can here. Again, this will not require a separate vote tonight. That was just for the franchise transfer ordinance.
Any questions for Mr. Lewis? Okay. All right. Thank you, Jeff. At this time, we'll move along to our public hearings portion of the agenda. We do have 7 items this evening on public hearing. Item 1 is ordinance number 2021-107, rezoning an approximate 1.89 acre tract of land. being track 139 in the J.W. Johnson Headright Survey A-308, located at the southwest corner of Jamison Street and Texarkana Avenue from Single Family 2 to Single Family 3. Anthony Lockhart and, I'm not sure I'm pronouncing the first name correctly, Latremont McCutcheon, owners, and John Lane, agent. Once again, public hearing scheduled for this evening as well as council vote. At this time, I'll declare the public hearing open in relating to this ordinance. If there is anyone who'd like to address the council about this ordinance, if you'll please come forward and state your name for the record. Don't see anyone coming forward, so at this time I'll declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance? We have a motion by Councilmember Hart, second. By Councilmember Harp. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending the zoning ordinance of the City of Texarkana, Texas, by rezoning a 1.89 acre tract of land, being tract 139, in the J.W. Johnson HRS A-308, located at the southwest corner of Jamison Street and Texarkana Avenue in the City of Texarkana, Bowie County, Texas, from Single Family 2 to Single Family 3, containing a repealer clause, containing a severability clause, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ordinance passes unanimously. Moving along to item number 2, which relates to the specific use permit. Our ordinance number 2021-108, granting a specific use permit to allow the location of a double-wide HUD code manufactured home as a residence on a 1.89 acre tract of land, being tract 139 in the J.W. Johnson Headright Survey A-308, located at the southwest corner of Jamison Street and Texarkana Avenue. Anthony Lockhart and Latremont McCutcheon, owners, and John Lane, agent. At this time, I'll declare the public hearing open on this item. If anyone would like to address the council, if you'll please come forward and state your name for the record. At this time, I'll declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance? We have a motion by Councilmember Hart and a second by Councilmember Page. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending the zoning map showing the location, boundary, and use of certain property by the granting of specific use permit number S-747 to allow the location of a double-wide HUD code manufactured home on a 1.89 acre tract of land, being tract 139 in the J.W. Johnson HRS A-308, located at the southwest corner of Jamison Street and Texarkana Avenue in the City of Texarkana, Bowie County, Texas, containing a repealer clause, containing a severability clause, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ordinance passes unanimously. Moving along to item number 3, ordinance number 2021-109, rezoning lots 1, 2, and west part of 3, block 13, Richmond Pines 3rd Edition, located north of the residence at 3202 Robin Lane, from Single Family 1 to Planned Development Townhouse. Jason Wynn, owner, and Brandon Taylor, 2B Builders, agent. At this time, I'll declare the public hearing open on this item. If anyone would like to address the council, please come forward and state your name for the record. At this time, I'll declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance?
So moved. Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Davis and a second by Councilmember Harp. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending the zoning ordinance of the City of Texarkana, Texas, by rezoning lots 1, 2, and the west part of 3, Block 13, Richmond Pines 3rd Edition, located north of the residence at 3202 Robin Lane in the City of Texarkana, Bowie County, Texas, from Single Family 1 to Planned Development Townhouse, containing a repealer clause, containing a severability clause, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Ordinance passes unanimously. Moving along to item number 4, ordinance number 2021-110, approving an amendment to Plan Development-21-3TH for site plan on lots 1, 2, and west part of 3, Block 13, Richmond Pines 3rd Edition, located north of the residence at 3202 Robin Lane. Jason Wynn, owner, and Brandon Taylor, to be builders agent. At this time, I declare the public hearing open. If anyone would like to address the council, please come forward. This time, I declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance?
So moved.
Motion by Councilmember Williams. Is there a second? Second by Councilmember Hart. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending PD-21-3TH for site plan approval on lots 1, 2, and the west part of 3, Block 13, Richmond Pines 3rd Edition, located north of the residence at 3202 Robin Lane in the City of Texarkana, Bowie County, Texas, containing a repealer clause, containing a severability clause, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ordinance passes. Moving along to item number 5, ordinance number 2021-111, approving an amendment to Plan Development-01-8, Multifamily 1, for site plan approval on Lot 1, 2, and 3, Block 2, Brookwood Acres Edition, located in the 500 block of Belt Road. Jason Wynn, owner, and Brandon Taylor, to be builders agent. At this time, I declare the public hearing open on this item. If anyone would like to address the council, please come forward and state your name for the record. At this time, I declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance?
Second.
We have a motion by Councilmember Page and a second by Councilmember Harp. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending PD-01-8 MF-1 for site plan approval on lots 1, 2, and 3, Block 2, Brookwood Acres Edition, located in the 500 block of Belt Road in the City of Texarkana, Bowie County, Texas, containing a repealer clause, containing a severability clause, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Ordinance passes. Item number 6, ordinance number 2021-117, closing and abandoning an unopened 25-foot street right-of-way of Bradley Street located north of Pacific Avenue, south of Greenview Drive, and east of lots 49 and 57 in the Belmont Edition. At this time, I declare the public hearing open. If anyone would like to address the council on this item, please come forward and state your name for the record. This time, I declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance? Motion by Councilmember Hart. Is there a second? Second by Councilmember Williams. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, closing and abandoning an unopened 25-foot street right-of-way of Bradley Street, east of lots 49 and 57 of the Belmont Edition, north of Pacific Avenue, and south of Greenview Drive, and located in the MEP&P Railway Company Headright Survey, Abstract 435, in the City of Texarkana, Bowie County, Texas, providing for a severability clause and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ordinance passes. And we do have one more public hearing item this evening. It's item number 7, resolution number 2021-118, authorizing the city manager to enter into a Chapter 380 economic development agreement with Winco Foods. At this time, I declare the public hearing open. If there's anyone who would like to address the council on this item, if you'll please come forward and state your name for the record. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. My name is Edward Gall.
Yes, sir.
Is this the resolution that includes giving Winco $350,000 in incentives and taxpayer funding to come?
It is
here?
part of the economic development agreement. Yes, sir.
So we're going to give a $3 billion company $350,000 for the privilege of locating in the town.
That's what is proposed. Yes, sir.
Can I ask why?
Well, when
And
we
won't they
have-
come here without it?
Well, oftentimes when companies or businesses are looking to locate to our community, they are looking for incentives or what can be offered by the community. And so it's a common practice to do this. And
That's a
so
lot of money, though.
It is a lot of money, but they're also willing to make a very large investment into our community as well.
I looked at-
A $21 million store, approximately 90 employees.
I looked at their want ads for other stores, and they pay about $11 an hour,
It is an employee-owned company, yes, sir.
but they pay very low wages.
That's up to them to do that, yes, sir.
No, but, so I'm trying to figure out what the city gets out of it.
Well, the city, we'll derive sales tax revenue for sales that are made at that store. It provides another shopping venue for our citizens and those from the surrounding areas to shop and to market.
Does it
Central
take-
Mall is in favor of this because it will enhance more opportunity for movement and activity within the mall property.
Does it
So
take away revenue from any other grocery stores in the city?
I cannot answer that question.
It does. It'll take away about, it won't bring any new dollars into the city. It'll take the tax dollars away from the other markets. And
Do you think that by them being another competitor, that they will offer lower prices to be more competitive? Because a lot of our grocery items in our city are pretty expensive.
Right, what I've studied over the last few days is, no, they don't. They don't have, the weekly flyers that they have for the other stores, I mean, it's basically the same price. I mean, for the money that we're paying, I don't see the reason why, when there's so many other things we can do with that money. Revitalize the downtown. I mean, they have $3 billion in annual revenues. They really need $350,000 from Texarkana.
Well, they're willing to come in and make an investment here, and so we've met with them.
But they come in and make an investment because they see a market here. They'd come with or without the $350,000.
We don't know that.
Yeah, well, they would. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I think they're picking our pocket. So,
Well, and I respect your comments. That's why we're having a open meeting here as far as a public hearing to gain input from the citizens.
can I ask why the $350,000 wasn't on the agenda?
Why the $350,000 wasn't on the agenda?
Yeah, I mean, it should have been mentioned.
Well, it's a Chapter 380 Economic Development Agreement,
Right, but it should have
which
been
is
mentioned.
contained within that.
But it should have mentioned, I think it should have mentioned that the fact that this is discussing a $350,000 tax corporate welfare, basically, to a $3 billion company. The number should have been in there.
Okay, that's your opinion, yes, sir, that's
Well, I
fine.
mean, that's transparency.
Well, we are transparent here. I will guarantee you we are transparent here at the city. Any other comments? Any other comments? All right, thank you for your time, sir. Public hearing is still open. If anyone else would like to address the council, please come forward. At this time, I declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the resolution? We have a motion by Councilmember Hart and a second by Councilmember Hart. This item does pertain to a resolution, so there is not a caption. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The resolution passes unanimously. This concludes our public hearings portion of the agenda. We'll now move along to items for discussion, and at this time, we'll have the city manager's report. Dr. Orr.
Good evening again, Mayor and Council. Just a few updates for you. First off, just a sales tax update to report for December of 2021 that also includes an annual report as well. Sales tax collections for December increased 21.18% over the prior year. The fiscal date collections are up 13.25% compared to last year, and the 12-month moving average is 16.57% higher. Just wanted to point out that we use a company called ZacTax that looks to analyze our sales tax and property tax collections within the city. They also do a regional comparison of other cities in Northeast Texas, and Texarkana outperformed our peer cities looking at year-over-year sales tax growth in 2021 at 16.57% compared to Tyler, Longview, Lufkin, and Nacogdoches. Just wanted to point out that these are current sales tax numbers, and it's different from what is budgeted, which is on an accrual basis, so it's 2 months behind what you see here, but still very positive news for sales tax. And then just wanted to mention again that we had architect and preservationist Carl Komatsu here last week. Carl is the former chair of the Texas Historic Commission, and we had opportunity to visit with our Historic Landmark Preservation Committee. He also toured the Perot Theater and the Asaph Club's house, so he'll be working on some projects with both of those facilities as well. So we look forward to working with Carl and his firm in the future on that. And as you mentioned earlier, Mayor, both events for the Texarkana Chamber of Commerce annual celebration has been postponed, and then also too, the State of the City breakfast, which was scheduled for the 26th of January, has also been postponed.
Okay, I
And-
wasn't aware of that, that was also been postponed, okay. Yes, sir. Okay, thank you, Mr. Malone.
And just a last update, you may have noticed on our agenda packet, our new mission and vision statements are on the front cover of our agenda. And so a big thank you to Jennifer for getting that accomplished with our software vendor, which was no small task to do. So appreciate her help with that. That's all.
Okay. Any questions for our city manager this evening? Okay, very good report. This time we move along to administrative comments. Any comments from the council this evening that you would like to share with the staff and council? Okay. Anything else to be brought before the council, David?
Mayor, we were planning to have a COVID update by Fire Chief Eric Slaughter. Eric was called to a fire in the middle of the meeting, so we'll have an update sent out soon, but it just goes without saying, COVID cases have increased significantly over the past several weeks, and our Emergency Operations Center will be doing a press release here shortly this week about the number of cases and just preventive measures again.
That's very true. Our COVID rates are going up. This most recent variant is, although the symptoms may not be quite as severe, though any kind of virus symptoms can be severe, but it's a very, very contagious variant, and so it has really spread throughout the community. Our hospitalization rates are continuing to creep upwards, and so we always want to keep an eye on that. We do have some additional staffing resources for our hospitals that are here to assist in various capacities, but we are experiencing a rather quickly a rise in the number of positive cases that we're having in our community. So please be aware of that as far as hand washing and social distancing when appropriate. Anything else to be brought before the council this evening? Okay. All right. If there's no further business brought before the council, I will entertain a motion for adjournment. We have a motion by Councilmember Davis and a second by Councilmember Hart. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. All right. We are adjourned. I want to thank all of you for joining us in the audience this evening, as well as those who joined us online, and certainly hope that you have a great evening. We look forward to seeing you at our next council meeting on January the 24th. Have a great evening.